Today we're in the studio meeting with Christy Saluski, who is a local business owner of the Crew Collective Design. And I can't wait for her to share with us about her latest business adventure. Christy, thanks for being here today.
Yes.
And tell me how this baby launched for you.
Thank you very much for having me, Karlee. I really appreciate it. And thank you for Whistle Realty for having me. We launched in January of 2024. So this is a newer business. I built this business completely from the ground up last year. I had this concept in mind, and I left corporate America, and I did 25 years in sales and marketing, and it was a great run, but I got laid off, and I was like, I'm going to do something creative with my time. And I was already kind of decorating on the side for friends and family, and I developed this concept that to be really truly about the customer and for the customer. That's how I started and wanted to do this business. And I wanted to do interior design, but keep it really simplified. I just wanted the approach to be, I will do the design for you, and then you do the shopping links and implementation, which cuts so much cost for clients. So it goes against a little bit of the full service approach, and really kind of hits to the heart of what the client needs, which is just getting over the design dilemma overwhelm. So yeah, and I can get into starting the business, but it's been a humbling experience, but it's been a great experience so far.
Well, it sounds like having it allowed you to have creativity, but with all of those years of corporate marketing and sales, that was really set the foundation for starting a business, because there's a lot of financials and setting up an LLC or an S corp that needs to happen. And you had that in order to launch this. So walk me through like the time frame from when this idea came to mind and then how you launched it.
Yeah, I think in 2020, the whole world changed in 2020, right? I mean, we had to think about our businesses and our approach to making money a little bit differently after 2020. And I think being in 2020, I was working for a medical device company at the time, and the business approach and how we do work. And I've always wanted a business that we could live or work anywhere and be creative. So being laid off allowed me that opportunity to kind of go back and revisit. So I started doing some research online, and I've always, like I said, been in the decorating, designing side business, but I never made money from it. And I think getting laid off, going through 2020 and seeing that you don't need to be in person to do interior design for clients. So I just developed the approach from, I started doing research. I started doing research on Instagram, and there actually is businesses out there that do virtual interior design, and it is a business that does reach clients. So I started to kind of develop my concept and put it into fruition. And I just built a website and, started doing all the things. And next thing you know, I was getting clients and helping clients not only in San Diego and Southern California, but all over the United States.
That is amazing. What I'm hearing is this, like the pandemic came up and it really shifted our mindset from like a bricks and mortar business to how can we serve more people through online connection. And so when you meet with clients, is it like usually over Zoom? Is that how the initial consult goes?
Yes, locally can be a hybrid approach. And I mean, I can go out to clients' homes. So how I offer it locally is I'm free virtual for a call, and I can see, I'm very quick to see what the home needs, what the client needs. I don't need to be there in person. For some things I do, I can go and scan the home. But if it's a local client, yes, I can do, here's my approach virtually, and then here's my approach if I come out to your home. And there's a fee for that, to come out to their home. But nationally, it's a Zoom call, FaceTime call, and I get a chance to look at their home and see their space. And I'm trained virtually to be able to do my job. As long as, and if they book me, then yes, I need their measurements. They send me that. I'm able to put that into my floor plan, and everything can be done virtually. We have platforms to do our job virtually, not only for the homeowner, but also for contractors around the United States if they need some virtual services for their interior design.
Amazing. So you're able to help and serve more people that way. Yes. Describe your the perfect client, or who fits into would be most served by you. Like what is ideal?
I love this question because when I actually get a client on the phone, they say exactly my ideal client. They're just like, Christy, oh my gosh, like I have all these ideas. I don't know how to put it together. And I'm so overwhelmed. I walk into a store and I am just like, oh my God, I just have like so many decisions that I just leave and I'm just overwhelmed. And they close the door on the entire project. I hear that 90% of the time. Or they're just like, I have a Pinterest page. I know clearly what I want, but I need somebody to curate it and put it together so I know everything looks good and is the overall look that I'm going for. Perfect. Yes, I can help you out with that. Or we're doing a bathroom and a kitchen remodel, but I need somebody to help me pick my finishes. Perfect. I can help you with that. So those 3 clients typically are my ideal client because they just don't know where to start.
So start getting them off the ground and being able to take, if they have, I can understand having a Pinterest page where you have something that's like floral and something that's tigers or something, and being able to bring it all together so you're going down one design path.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that, and it sounds like, there's an idea of helping homeowners, but one of the other great things you shared is that this is for anybody. Yes. So if you're, renting a studio apartment or something smaller, like everybody needs to feel good in the space that they live in and feel happy. And this is something that you offer them as well, right?
Yeah, because not everybody owns their own home. Mm-hmm. We live in a very expensive market in Southern California and in San Diego, and a lot of people rent. And I've designed for people that have just recently gotten out of a divorce and they're renting a condo or an apartment. And that's something that they just want to make that house feel comfortable and cozy and to whatever their liking is. And yes, I've designed for that. I've designed for apartments, new builds, just refreshes that might be outdated and just need like some decor pieces or like true new flooring. And it just really, really depends. So it's the homeowner. And I also do service. I've started to work with other interior design firms that just want to outsource some of their services. So I'm kind of expanding in that direction as well. But, remodeling, working with contractors is a new thing for me as well with kitchens and baths, which is also really kind of fun. So.
And when did it actually launch? Like what month and date?
January 2024.
And then how did people find you, or how do you get your first client?
Yeah, I think when you're just starting, I'm the person behind everything that I have. Every marketing page, every website that I have, every copy, it's me. Like I haven't outsourced anything. So last year was really building the business and getting it going. So writing my website, I do find people find me from my website, which I'm so happy. It's like, okay, SEO is working. Yeah. So website, Google profile, I am on Houzz. So I have a profile on Houzz. I also am on some other apps to kind of find me. And I had not even a social media page so I started that in January of last year as well. So now I have a social media page. You can find me on any profile. I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube, I have my website, and it is Crew Collective Design, so consistent everywhere.
Crew Collective Design, yes.
Yeah, and that's where people are starting to find me as well, and national clients are starting to find me on my TikTok or in social media and saying, can you help me in Pennsylvania? Can you help me in Minnesota? And I'm like, yes, I can, because that's my business and that's my model, so...
And it just from the look on your face, it seems like you're really happy in what you're doing, and that is shining through. Like you've built a business from scratch.
Yes.
And how does that feel?
Overwhelming. Yeah. I feel really dumb. I felt really stupid through a lot of that process. I mean, I'm smiling through it, but there's times I rack my head against my table, and I'm like, oh my God, like. I came from corporate America where things were given to me. Structured and training and everything's done. And now I'm talking through a chat message on how to do this on my website. Like nobody's telling me how to do anything.
Like build an SOP and that type of thing.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I'm like Googling how to do things. So I'm self-built in that regard. And that was an overwhelming process. But am I happy? Yes, because I worked long and hard for somebody else and had a lot of crazy structure, and I did a lot of travel, and I'm so happy I had that experience. But now I have the flexibility and the opportunity to really truly build something for myself, and something that I'm truly proud of, and that I see actually taking off. And all my reviews are 5-star. So I know that at the end of the day, my client reviews are really what keep me going too. I know that the work that I'm doing is helping them. And it's also at an affordable price, right? Because I think interior design does not have to be, number one, in person, and it doesn't also have to be costly. And that's really the concept of my business. It is with and for the business. And yeah, overall, I am happy. I can live and work anywhere and do my job.
Well, I've known you for over a decade.
Yeah.
And those that know you love you, and they love you for eternity. And so that is like, you really take care of people, and you really have a genuine interest in getting to know them and helping them.
Thank you.
And I know that to be true. I think, we've
getting
known each
emotional.
other for a really long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And so to see you build this
Thank you.
and be able to be successful is really exciting to me. And I'm really glad that you came today. But I also wanted to ask you, you touched on something that where it's not like interior design feels, it sounds almost like something that is unreachable to the everyday person, right? Like I would love to have my house redesigned, but to me it just seems like dollar signs, right?
Yeah.
Now share with me how you're able to do things like affordable. Like someone wants restoration hardware or a pottery barn, don't we all, right? But you help, find dupes, I guess. Like, can you walk me through that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Every client's different. Every client has a furniture budget. Let's just say example, they wanted to redo their master bedroom. And I've talked to clients that are like, can I even afford you? Like, because they're that ideal client. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I buy things, I bring it home, it doesn't fit, all that. So they're overwhelmed, and they want the project done, but they don't know how to start or do it. So I often say, okay, are you starting from scratch? Do you need new furniture, or what am I working with? I can work with existing furniture in the room. So I identify what they need. And then I quote them based on what the deliverables would be. The approach is, my pricing does range, but it is nowhere near in the ballpark. It's not even, it's like a quarter of what it would be for a full service interior designer. And I typically work by packages. So I develop a package, it's a flat rate package, so flat rate pricing. So if it's for your master bedroom, based on the scope of the project, I will give them a flat rate pricing in my clear deliverables of what it will be. I can, do the concept mood board, floor plan, and shopping links, and design the space. And then if they want a 3D render, that's perfect. And then I send them the shopping links for them to purchase. The difference is I don't procure, so I do not buy the furniture, which is where a lot of interior designers make a markup, and I don't do that at all. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with returns. I don't want to do that to the customer, really. So I let them buy, but they should have everything that they need. So
they
work within their budget.
They get like a vision board of, kind of you walk through like, this is what it would look like. And then here are the links to purchase the items that you want. And it sounds like then they could buy, all of it, some of it, or maybe find a little piece in their home that, this is kind of something that would fit in this space.
Exactly.
Yeah, but now they have a plan and they can focus on one room at a time. Yep. Do you have clients that say, I want a master, and then they come back and they might want like another room done?
A lot of times. And that's what's exciting, because I did launch last year, as I said, and then I've had a couple clients come back already this year saying, Christy, I want to redo my downstairs now. We're ready to expand it. I'm like, great. Referrals mean everything to me. Yes. And my 5-star reviews really do, it's something I hold true to my heart. So if they haven't written me a review, but then they come back to me to redo another part of their home, that is a review in and of itself. So, to re-answer your question, I have certain pricing. If they still think it's too expensive, which typically they don't, honestly, they're like, wow, that's affordable for what you're offering me. If it's still too much, then I will scale it back on my deliverables and my time that I give to them. And then if that's still too much, then it's, it's not the ideal client for the work, but typically it always finds a way. And then they give me a budget of where they want me to kind of source their furniture. Most clients tend to be in a medium price range, So I say it's like low, medium, and high. The high is the restoration hardware.
Okay.
So example of that, if you showed me a master bedroom, we're doing a master bedroom, you love this headboard, you love this bed, but you don't want to spend $4,000 on that bed. Okay, you give me a picture of that bed. As long as I see a picture of it, I can find a dupe, I can find other examples, I can find another bed that we agree on that would really hit that bedroom and look really great, but like for not even half the price.
That's a cost savings,
yes,
but with immaculate design. And who doesn't want a restoration?
Right.
I mean, it's just.
But not everybody wants to spend that money on it. And a lot of my clients are kind of in that low to medium range where, people shop on Amazon, and so do I. I source on Amazon. Target has some really good finds. We all know that. Home Goods is great. I can't really source Home Goods because it's
eclectic and changes all the time.
So it's hard for me to actually link something. But a lot of my designers that I love and follow have lines at Target. So yes, I use Target all the time. And then that middle range would be maybe like a Pottery Barn like feel and price point. And there's a ton of retailers within that space.
So how does someone schedule an appointment with you? How do they get on your calendar?
So that's a good question too. They can find me on my website, and there's a contact me area. As I mentioned, I'm on any social media there is on Crew Collective Design, and they can send me a message. So
DM you.
DM me.
Crew Collective Design.
Yes.
And then they can schedule time on your calendar, and that would look like an initial Zoom consult.
Correct. Okay. Yeah. First would probably be a phone call, just to kind of make sure we're on the same page. Yeah. I think when you say I'm a virtual interior designer, it's I'm not a robot, I'm a real person.
Right.
I label myself virtual because I can service the entire United States, and my services are streamlined and not full service. That's really ultimately what it is. So
where do you see the business going in the next 5 years? Do you have a plan of what your goal is for it?
Ooh, I've started to think about that this year. And yes, last year, I think I was super intimidated by doing remodels because I just did not want to get into being on a national basis. I didn't want to get into coding and getting into the county and stuff like that. So I was more intimidated in that sense. So I was declining actually jobs in bathrooms and kitchens. But now I've started to do a couple kitchens, I've started to do some bathrooms. So I'm actually expanding into doing remodeling and doing kitchens and baths, which is super exciting. So I see myself maybe even specializing in that because I'm really enjoying that space and getting probably certified in designer for remodeling. So that's exciting too.
And that really is more like the networking with contractors and builders, right?
Yes.
It's kind of, then your client base expands that way.
Yeah.
Do you have any help yet? Have you hired anybody on this journey?
It's weird. I started off really, really strong last year, and again, January. And then by April, I was at a point where I was like, wow, I'm doing really well. I'm thinking of scaling. So I've started to outsource to a couple virtual interior designers that work with other designers. It's a thing in the business. And then I have a couple on hand. So I have worked with a couple, but not full-time because I'm just still small and I'm doing everything myself. But that is ultimately the goal. I don't plan on doing everything myself. I plan on outsourcing some things and to be able to grow more and expand my reach a little bit further. So that is a future opportunity for me, and I have that in the works, yes.
So you're at this point of probably 15, 16 months in the business, already starting to think about scaling and growing, but you're doing it with a smile, but I just know that to be you. What would you like to share with your ideal client? How about this? More about what would you like to share with someone who has an idea like you? Because you're an inspiring human. and people feel supported
boy.
by you. Like, what if someone wanted to start something like this? Like, what would be your advice to them? Your best advice to somebody wanting to start their own business?
Oh gosh. I feel very, thank you, but
Yeah.
I feel very, I don't know that I could really inspire somebody to do that. I mean, it took a layoff for me to be able to see the light. And that transition point from me getting out of a work experience, that 9 to 5, that grind was hard for me, but it took a layoff for me to think differently, truthfully. So I think it was an event that made me do it. But I think really you can put your mind to anything if you have a goal, and you just got to put it into motion. But it was an event that made me put it into motion. I'm also very lucky to have a supportive partner that is an entrepreneur and started his own business. So that has also inspired me.
Yeah, you have a good mentor.
Very good
Is there
mentor.
anybody else that you leaned on that, inspired you or helped you build it?
I think my family, I come from a family of just financial people that are super smart and have always kind of been successful in what they do in their own right, that have always been motivating me to push myself, I guess. But mentorship, I think my husband is one, and just looking at him, he's also a general contractor for commercials. So just seeing how he maneuvers and how he works, and I think that was another mentor inspiration. But also, I mean, Karlee, look at what you've been doing. I mean, you started your own, it's kind of like starting your own business
Yeah.
as a realtor. You started that, how many years ago was that?
Gosh, that would have been in 2021, so 4. But
years.
same thing. Like, I can relate to
starting
your
from
idea
something,
of the
yeah.
bricks and mortar, and
Yeah.
honestly, that's truly there's a lot of parallels here,
There-
because
yeah, there.
I've joined. I'm with a cloud-based brokerage, that's EXP, and my husband
Yeah.
is a software engineer, and he had said, "Hey, when you launch into real estate, don't think about it as a bricks and mortar. You need to think about the cloud and look at how you can
Yes.
serve more people nationwide."
Yep.
And that's part of what I do with my network too. And so I'm glad that we have a lot of similarities and understand that, because
Yes.
those that I talk to, I work with people in Nevada and Tennessee and Minnesota
That are moving
and
here?
Idaho. Yeah. And
Yeah.
they move, back and forth. And I'm happy to be able to share a
Yes.
resource for them too, because some of them moving here, at the end of the day, they might be here temporarily. So rather than buy an investment property, they might rent short term.
Yeah.
But they own other properties in other states, and they probably want their place to look turnkey and ready to go. And now I have a resource for that. So I appreciate that.
Yes, yeah.
And I think just being able to network nationwide and help others, having an online presence,
Yes,
and
online, for sure.
in a cloud-based business is
Yep.
so essential today.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think
and
that's what we all learned from
Yeah.
2020, right? And we had to grow fast
Yep.
and adjust quickly. And I think at a corporate level, that they have one way of doing it, but when you're an entrepreneur, you have to figure it out fast. And there's all these new platforms that came out after 2020. So no, I think that you're also an inspiration for somebody like me to start my own business, because that was 4 years ago, and
Yeah.
you were new to realty, and you started it's building your own brand. And that's ultimately what I'm doing as well. You're building your own brand. You're building your own concept. Every realtor has their own little approach, and you bring a certain approach too. But to your point on, you're talking to people all over the nation, and so am I. I do offer realtors, and I would offer Whistle Realty as well, a discount to my services. So I would offer a free virtual call, and then I also offer 10% off my packages. So full room design packages, I would offer that to any realtor. And to
Okay,
you guys.
so you heard that. That's Christy with Crew Collective Design. And so if you're like an agent on our team, or if you are a client of one of ours, then we have someone local here in San Diego, but also serves, nationwide, offering you a consult. So whether you rent or own,
Yes.
you can have that, dream living room, dream bathroom, dream bedroom that you always wanted. And she's offering a discount. So thank you for that. And I
Yes.
just want to make sure, is there a phone number, or do people just hit you up on social media or your website and DM you? Is that best?
Yes.
Best way
yes.
to get a hold
At
of her?
first, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Christy, one other thing I wanted to ask, before our time ends is, we talked about cloud and networking, being virtual, but how does AI fit into that? Like, have you been working with any AI tools?
That's coming into the industry, and I think as a design professional, we don't love that because it can be like almost like a fake interior designer, but it isn't perfect yet. So AI, yes, from some copy that I might write on my website, but nothing as it relates to any work that I do. So sometimes AI is helpful for just helping me pick paint colors or something like that. But truthfully, I think it could go against the particular work that I do. So no, I don't use AI in that.
But
in that
virtual
sense yet.
staging.
For virtual staging, so how do I do virtual staging?
Yeah.
Okay. So virtual staging is most realtors, I know you guys like to do like a full staging package with actual furniture, and that's not what I do because I don't want the overhead, I don't want the brick and mortar, right? So I can offer something like a free virtual call or me going to a client's home and helping them declutter and tell them what they need to do and organize and take this down and maybe move this around to kind of like make the house look nice if they want to use the same furniture. So if they have no furniture in there, then I could do a 3D render of what it could look designed in like a virtual reality video, and I can share an example of that, of what it might look like when you walk into a room. And then it's a design space of, say there's an ADU or, a master bedroom. We didn't actually, as the realtor, you didn't get it staged, but here's a 3D render of what it could look like designed, so the homeowner could actually see that, or a virtual video that you can show on the screen. So that's what I do virtually.
So you also do like staging consults in person?
I can do that.
Like helping
locally.
them work with their own
I can do
home.
that locally. Yep.
Like if they're getting ready to go on market, but they have beautiful house, pretty nice
Yes.
furniture. How do we declutter things or use what I already have
Yeah.
in order to look fresh on the market?
Absolutely.
That's amazing
I can do
because
that.
there
Yeah.
is a need for that.
Okay, good.
So
That's
that is
good.
something that actually I need today. So if we could just jump in the car and drive, like literally today. So there's an urgent need for that. And I appreciate you sharing that because, you're not a stager. You are an interior designer.
Yeah, and I like to have a certain delineation between the two. Because I think realtors are like, oh yeah, I need a package for them. Like, no,
not delivering furniture.
Yeah, I don't do that, but I can definitely help you with your client in the staging package. But no, it's really, I offer the discount for once the client is sold and they might love their staging furniture, but they want to know how to do it personally, then I can do that from actually like real furniture that's theirs once they buy the house.
And also as agents in this industry, like once we know, like we've helped them buy a home.
Yeah.
We know that it wasn't the dream home, but they're in the process of making it that way.
Right.
And this is just such a value add too for us to share with them. You've been in your home a year now. What does it look like? Would this be an option, to meet with Christy? Like, I think that is such an important tool to be able to offer our clients as a full service real estate agent and offer your services.
So is that something that's pretty common, that there's just a lot of homes that need to be prepped and staged?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that from a lot of realtors, that it's just like, okay, this needs to be decluttered, or, everything needs to be taken down. You got to take down grandma and grandpa's pictures and the kids' pictures. I mean, that's not something that sells, right? So
it makes a difference. Yeah.
It does make a huge difference. And just making sure that it looks nice, even if they have beautiful furniture, is just something that is an added touch that's going to help the home sell faster.
I think there's you make 7 times the investment. So if you're going to go to list a home, you make 7 times back what you paid for the staging. And I've seen that to be, known that to be true because I primarily list homes, and those that are staged just sell faster because people can envision themselves you go to a new build and it looks that way. But I think on the other side of that is, if that's what you want it to look like,
how do I get there?
You just spent all this money on the home. Like,
how do I get there?
So now you have a resource along the way. Like, this is how we can get there.
Yep.
Well, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
It's been so awesome to have you here. It's been a while.
Yes.
So, Christy Soliski at Collect Crew Collective Design. So, thanks again for coming here. And she has all of your interior design ready for you virtually. And I can't wait for you to try her out. And they can find you on Google, leave a review.
Yeah.
Once they're done, go check out her 5-star review. So
Very
that's
important.
amazing.
Very
Thanks
important.
again for being here today.
Thank you for having me.